Well, guys, unfortunately, we have to watch another DCEU film. Gonna have to sit through that resting brow.
Oh, no. It's animated.
Yes!
Welcome to N9000 Plus's movie review of Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We are the nerds of N9000 Plus. I'm Ken.
I'm Jazz.
I'm John.
We're the same people, right? Yes,
we are the same people. And I'll tell you who's also the same. The Turtles and Batman.
They really were.
Yeah, they really were loyal to their characters.
This was really good, and I didn't even know it existed until Ken mentioned it to me like 2 days ago.
Exactly.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of wild. It's like, how do they make these decisions?
I actually watched the trailer yesterday because I knew we were going to watch it. And then I was like, oh, all right, this might not be so bad. And it's been doing really well. The Rotten Tomatoes score is good. The audience score has been really good. So
the movie database has been doing really good. Yes. It is amazing how well this film has been doing.
Yep. So when we were about to watch it, I was like, okay, I don't feel bad about this. Like, resting brow face. So, you know, exactly. Ahoy, there will be spoilers ahead. Honestly, I feel like this one was one of the best out of all the whole Bat Family films. I don't know how many you've seen recently.
None. And here's the thing. I mean, I might have seen one at some point, but I don't really know for sure. But here's the thing about me. I love Batman. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
Batman is he's easy a top 5 for me. Always has been. And I grew up on the Ninja Turtles. Yeah. So this is really interesting for me to watch. And I definitely loved it. But my thing about Batman is I think, apart from maybe just having like Oracle, I think Batman as a character is best served by himself. I've never been real into him running around with Robin or him, having another Robin or a different Robin after that.
And then Nightwing.
Batgirl and Nightwing when I've just never really been into it. The Oracle thing makes some sense to me, but this one did enough to appease me, and it was totally done well. And the Turtles were
amazing.
Perfect, honestly, perfect.
Michelangelo definitely
stole the movie,
stole the whole thing. He was definitely one of my favorites, even though I really liked the storyline they went with, which I think they've done this before with Raphael being the hothead and dealing with his anger and stuff. That was kind of another subplot of him learning how to focus and using Batman to help him learn how to focus. I think what I liked most about this was the theme of family, more so in this movie than the other ones. And they using the Turtles, because they're brothers and they're super close, to help Batman realize you are part of a family now. As we're going through the Batman story and he's getting all these strays, basically,
essentially,
he doesn't realize that he's forming this family and kind of starting over again with his own family. And I think that in this one, you get to see him be like the dad of the family or the patriarch of this whole family and letting them grow and help them become their own people while still disciplining and all that type of thing.
The only criticism that I would say is what the voice actor chose for Damien.
Because he's supposed to be, what, like 13 or 14 or something?
Yeah, he's supposed to be around that age, yeah. He's supposed to be like one of the youngest Robins, like 12, no older than 13.
He comes across as like really whiny almost, even when he doesn't necessarily need to, just because of the pitch of his voice. It's kind of funny because it makes me think of being a parent and having children, is because it's like there's a real big difference between like, no, and then like, no.
Yeah.
And his pitch elevates him to the second one.
Exactly.
You get a lot of whininess out of his speaking voice, which just didn't fly for me.
What he was going for, because his voice sounds a certain way, as we got towards the end, when he was kind of okay with the Turtles, because he starts off kind of being their antagonist also, that it sounded better in the end than in the beginning.
Yeah, he kind of settled.
Exactly.
It wasn't as over the top.
Damien in the comics is supposed to be more arrogant, regal. He's a lot like his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul. It's like how he speaks, how he carries himself.
I think my favorite voice, which we'll probably say, is Michelangelo. He got all the mannerisms spot on. Like we said earlier, he stole the show. I thought it was pretty great.
Yep. I was surprised to see that was done by Kyle Mooney. He just really knocked it out of the park.
It is very nice that they went back to the classic California, like, dude, because when it came to the recent Michael Bay movies, they decided to have him be more like a Beastie Boy sounding character than...
And they did kind of incorporate that, because he said something like, Gotham is cool, yo, or something like that. Yeah. So they kind of incorporated...
It was like they modernized that late 80s, early 90s speaking style. So he still has that feel, but it's more relevant to now.
And it didn't sound real old. Though, speaking of old, some of the music was a little bit like 2019, but then they had the sweet, like, 90s-esque kind of music to it. It fit. I didn't feel like anything was, like, too throwback. And there were things that they did that were a little cheesy, but it still felt good in the movie. It was really cool.
I agree. It was like nostalgia in my eyes. And here's the thing, I'm not saying I loved it just because of the nostalgia factor. I actually think they did a great job. The performances were, like we said, almost 100% across the board wonderful.
John definitely called like 4 or 5 things. He was channeling Mikey throughout the whole movie. And every time he would say, "Oh, Mikey should do this." And then boom, then he did it.
So spot on. And this was the very first time we watched this film. So how he was so spot on without seeing it before.
He's really Mikey.
He was also Batman too at times.
Exactly.
So
So that, I think, might have been one of my favorite lines when Batman says Cowabunga at the end. And also when he's like, "You can't leave now." Because it was kind of like a Batman. And then he goes, "It's pizza time."
I wish he had said, "It's time for pizza." or like
in his
"You have
way
to attend to my pizza order."
My favorite scene, fight scene, is between Batman and Shredder in the beginning, the very first fight. It was so well done. And I was thinking while we were watching this, like, it'd be cool to see it as live action, but I don't think it would work. I don't think there's 2 people that could film that scene that well.
There's actually one bigger problem I don't think either of you have considered, is that Shredder's mom's name is Martha. And so... Why did you say that name? Nice to meet you. I am Irokusaki. This is my mother, Martha. What? What?
I made a funny.
They had a lot of really good fights in there because the fights between Batman and the Turtles were really good. The Shredder and Batman, the ones with all the mutated creatures and everything, with them driving through and all that stuff. They just had a lot of really good stuff besides the dialogue and everything else.
My favorite fight is not even a fight, and that's when Baxter Stockman just vomits and passes out. And just
that's pretty great. Because Damien is fully ready to fight him. And he's like, "No, I'm just a hostage," and passes out. So that's pretty good too.
Voice cast is absolutely fantastic. Troy Baker reprises his role as Batman and the Joker. He is right up there with Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. Oh, Alfred Brian George was him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you would remember him from Seinfeld as Babu. I thought it was Phil Lamar as Baxter Stockman, but it was Keith Ferguson. Tom Kenny was the Penguin.
His was really good.
Yes.
I really liked his.
Yeah, because I know you didn't care for the Batman animated series.
That's one. Yeah,
you guys, tried to start it, but it wasn't really much your fan because just the animation. But if you got past that, there was some really great stories, and the voice cast was amazing. And Kenny was reprising his role as the Penguin, and he does it more like Burgess Meredith, where that. John DiMaggio has done quite a bit with Batman. He was Joker originally in Under the Red Hood. In this iteration, he was Mr. Freeze, and he did it really well. That cool sophistication, which makes a lot of sense with Freeze.
Really
Not to, he's like, "Nice to meet you, Arnold." We've only gotten good Mr. Freezes in the animated films and in the TV series. We really need a better Mr. Freeze in live action. Hopefully that'll be the next Batman film. Hopefully. Jim Meskimen, great impressionist. He was Commissioner Gordon in Scarecrow.
That was the other thing I wanted to mention. The Commissioner Gordon, like, they usually have him as kind of a serious, he's been a detective or a police commissioner for a while. And in this one, just think of retirement. Just think of retirement. I love that. And he wasn't even in it that long, but it was perfect what they did.
It's very Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Carlos Alazraqui.
Reno 911.
Yeah, from Reno 911. Absolutely fantastic comedian. Great voice actor. And him as Bane was perfect. To be honest, every Bane that we've seen in the actual theater live action, it's been whitewashed. Because Bane is ultimately supposed to be an Hispanic character, but we've never actually seen that in the films.
Because his whole costume is based on the luchadors.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they never focus on that at all.
My favorite ones, is it Young Justice?
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, when Danny Trejo.
Yes.
That made sense.
So good.
Yeah. Great Bane.
Tara Strong. She was not only reprising her role as Harley Quinn, she was also doing Poison Ivy as well.
For this movie, as you can tell, I think we all liked it. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't know. Let's hear what your score is. Yeah, what's your score? What's your score?
Now I can't underscore you guys. Honestly, I'd probably give it a 8850.
I was thinking between 8,000 and 9,000, so I'm going to go a solid 8,500.
I would go with 9,000 even.
Thanks, guys. We've been the nerds of 9,000 plus, and we reviewed Batman versus TMNT, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We rated it pretty high, 8,000 plus. So tell us what you think. You can comment down below. You can watch our videos that we have. Where do you put them, Ken?
They will be at the end screen. With all the other videos you watch. And if you're new to this channel, we want to just suggest to you, it's just a suggestion, you don't have to do it, but we really want you to do it. We want you to subscribe. Yes. Click that subscribe button to stay on top of everything. We're also on social media, so you can follow us and stay on top of our hijinks. And we have a video every single Friday. But if you can't wait until then, we have a new video for you. Make that new videos for you right now.